President Cyril Ramaphosa is not a man of short controversy or short of controversy. He's survived the Marikana scandals. We've seen him counter allegations of extramarital affairs, and he continues to try and clear his name in the Bosasa gate. But can the latest leaked emails sink him? Well, they suggest that the president knew who funded his successful 2017 ANC presidential campaign. This undermines his defense that he was kept at arm's length about the funders. He may not have acted illegally, but how damaging can this be to his credibility? Well, political analyst Ramaphosas joins us in studio now to talk us through some of this detail. Mr. Mateka, thank you very much for your time.
Good morning.
His credibility,
Good morning.
The credibility of the president is on the line here. How does it come out of this one?
Well, I think that unfortunately the president is already on a crisis management mode about this. I mean, when the story first broke from the public protector about the $500,000 sponsorship, by then the president should have actually called a press conference and voluntarily revealed who were his funders. I've heard people making argument that the other team did not reveal and so forth, but the other team did not promise anyone integrity, by the way. This is the president who actually allowed us to start characterizing his campaign as a campaign rooted on integrity, rooted on openness. No one forced him to take that kind of a ticket. He's the one.
I wonder why he's played it so badly, though.
I think it's just bad advice. I will have to say it is bad advice. People tend to think that maybe you can attack the messenger, and I think that the strategy here has been to say that the issue came through Advocate Usiswem Keban. I mean, I myself personally, I've got doubts about the integrity of the reports that come from the public protector, given what has happened. But that does not mean that I will overlook the reality that there's been close to, now we are talking about how much, almost $500 million. Some are talking 309. We don't even know the figure yet because we are speculating. I'm worried about that. It doesn't matter who's the messenger. I'm worried about the president having received that money, not willing to come out and openly disclose about the source of that money, particularly the people who donated that money, because it creates the impression that the president might be saving a particular interest group in this. And I think at this point in time, he's not managing this very well. There's still I would say, the ambition that say we can use the integrity problem of the public protector to push against this thing. It's not working. It's not going to work.
And how much longer can he maintain the silence, either him or the campaign managers? Because someone at some point has to either authenticate these emails or dismiss them.
The way in which the emails look like, I mean, I've read them, News 24, my colleagues, News 24, publicize those emails. Earlier on, Koli, I did say that, look, it's just a matter of time until they leak. We all know in this age of information. If you look at them, they look to me quite authentic, unless something else comes out, unless someone comes out and, as you correctly say that, look, this is fraud. So you have to deal with this. You cannot keep on kicking the can down the road, because now I think the strategy might be to say, let us wait for that report to be dismissed in court. Even if the public protector's report is successfully reviewed in court, that does not make the issue of the finance to go away. The reality is that the president has had people sponsoring him in this campaign, and people actually outside the NC weighed in on supporting the president.
And the fact that there are people in his team who are leaking this as well just shows again how vulnerable he is.
Exactly. And the best he can do in a moment such as this is to take South Africans in his confidence, to say that, look, this is the amount that I've received. This has been contributed by so-and-so. And he will have to deal with that. That is much better than refusing to reveal, because if you refuse to authenticate the content that is being discussed, you're actually saying there is something into it, and you keep on failing to manage this thing. It becomes a public relations nightmare, escalating on a daily basis.
On the subject of the leaks, Mr. Mateka, I'm not sure if there's clarity as to from where did these emails come, who leaked this information, because there is the suggestion that the public protector may have already been in possession of these emails, because she made reference when she was releasing that report to the content of these emails, although she didn't dwell much, but she signaled that she is basing some of what she's saying on the contents of the email. So who may have leaked this information? There's suggestion from Jane that someone perhaps from his team may have leaked this, or it could also be that the Office of the Public Protector may be responsible. We don't know. How in the world do we find out who leaked this information and for what reasons?
Well, we don't know who leaked this, but as I was following this story from the beginning, the confidence that the public protector displayed when that report came out, it was almost saying that, you know what, I dare you to challenge me. I've got more information. Clearly, the public protector knew that. Who leaked it to the public protector? How the public protector acquired that? For me, as someone who is looking into the public interest, is secondary. Just like the Gupta emails, who leaked it for what purpose? Certainly, there might have been political consideration for leaking. Certainly, the person who leaked the email might have leaked it to undermine the president. But for me, that does not discourage me from looking into the context. It actually doesn't change the veracity of the issue at play here, that the president does not want to disclose voluntarily the amount of money that he received. As far as politicians are concerned, if we start looking as to who leaked and why, and we limit our analysis to that, is a dead end. There is always politics to be cultivated out of this. For me, that is secondary. The question now is, we have this information that is nearly fully authenticated through these emails, and the president has to communicate with that information. The question as to who leaked, that is a political matter that the president can air in the public and say that so-and-so leaked this information for whatever purpose. That's none of my concern. What I'm concerned about now, I have a president who's a sitting president. A lot of money funded the president, who carved a ticket of integrity and openness, and yet I don't see the follow-through on living up to that ticket. That is what I'm concerned about. The messenger, there will always be West Messenger. I always quote the quote that is always repeated, that some of the best developments in our society will come through people with the most sinister motive. There might not be doubt that the person who leaked has got sinister motive, but is it of public interest that we follow through on the content? Yes, I believe it is of public interest that we want to know more as to where does the money come from, what are the expectations, so that we can fully comprehend and understand this presidency.
Ralph Mateka, thank you very much for those insights.